Shele. Enough is enough. Northern governors demand new strategy to end insecurity. The Northern Governors Forum have declared that the worsening security situation across the region can no longer be addressed with routine meetings and unfulfilled promises, calling for urgent and decisive action to restore peace and protect lives. We are getting there. Little by little, money, the pressure is getting worse. And we are getting closer. Tó bá ti rárá fi balẹ̀, gbogbo oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀, gbogbo ẹ̀ ló máa mọ̀. Bó bá tẹ̀ wá mọ̀ gbogbo everything, wà á ní idea nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ genuinely ni o tó ń ṣe irọ́ ni o. Ṣé ní 2026, òun ni àwọn Northern governor ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jí lójú oorun, wọ́n mọ̀ wípé omi ti tẹ̀yìn wọ̀gbìn lẹ́nu. Ọ̀rọ̀ insecurity kò ṣeé dúró wò mọ́, ó ti dójú ẹ̀. Ṣé ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé President Trump bọ́ síta lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta ẹ̀ ó ní wọ́n pa sure sí àwọn terrorist leaders ní northern part of Nigeria wọ́n ṣe codedly àgbọ̀. Mayor wo ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ò tí ì lè yé àti northern governors àti northern leaders and elders, every one of them, gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n sá kìtìkìtì tó ń rán kàtàkàtà báyìí láti end ọ̀rọ̀ insecurity. Àṣírí ti tú wọn ò rí bí sásì. The whole wide world ti mọ̀ wípé kò sí any other person, kò sí any other ethnic or tribe nínú Nigeria tó wọ́n alive every other innocent Nigeria citizen. Do northern lọ. Kò sí anything tí northern leaders and elders, the monarch, their elders and their political stakeholder. Kò sí ìkọ̀kọ̀ tí wọ́n fa Nigeria ju alimajiri, terrorism, nǹkan burúkú unalive people, innocent people. Tẹ̀lé mi kó wá gbọ́ àlàyé wọn.
Now take a look at this. Enough is enough. Northern governors demand new strategy to end insecurity. No, let them not demand. Let them continue sitting on the mandates. When the time comes, we are going to know if that exorbitant monthly allocation they're collecting from the mandates is going to save them and save their states.
After the Fulani conquered the northern part of Nigeria, what next? What followed shaped the history of the northern part of Nigeria for what seemed like forever. Pay attention. You see, Uthman Danfodio did not just lead a jihad. No, he founded an Islamic empire called the Sokoto Caliphate. You see, after the conquest of the northern part of Nigeria, the Fulani unified the northern part of Nigeria under Sharia law, Islamic scholarship, and Fulani leadership. They ruled the north from Sokoto to Adamawa. That is why in Nigeria today, you will hear Sharia law, Sharia law. It did not just start today. That is what was used to unify the northern part of Nigeria, the Sharia law, the Islamic scholarship, and the Fulani leadership. You see, Uthman Danfodio, after the north has been conquered between 1804 to 1808, he created a decentralized system of administration in the north. He created Caliphate, the Sokoto Caliphate. Some historical evidence pointed out about the Wandu also. So he created emirates in the north and appointed people in charge of each of these emirates. He called them the emirs. So the emirs were in charge of the emirates. So today when you hear the emir of this, the emir of that, that is Uthman Danfodio creation of an institution in the northern part of Nigeria. And by extension, they infiltrated into other geographical space in Nigeria where they conquer. That's why today you can hear the emir of Ilorin, even when Ilorin happens to be in the western geographical location in Nigeria. But they have an emir because they have conquered and what? Decentralized their institution. So people were in charge of positions. They created a system that enabled the payment of taxation. For example, you had the Waziri. He was the head of the officials. They had the Galadima. He was the head of the capital. They had the Madawaki. He was the commander of the army. They had the Dogari. He was the head of the police. They had the Maji. He was the treasury officer. They had the Salikin Rowa. He was the head of the fishing place. They had the Salikin Faaja. He was the head of the palace workers. And they had the Salikin Power. He was the head of the butchers. The one you can call abattoir. So to go to abattoir, you have to meet the Salikin what? Power. To go to the head of the officials, you meet the waziri. To go to the army, you meet the madawaki. To go to the police, you meet the dogari. To go to the treasury, you meet the dogari, treasury officer. So people were in charge of positions. It was decentralized. People were paying taxes, but power and loyalty flowed back to the Caliphate, the Sokoto. He made his son, Mohammed Bello, and his brother Abdullahi in charge of the key legions. Some historical evidence pointed out that his son Muhammad Bello was in charge of the Sokoto Caliphate, while his brother Abdullahi was in charge of the Wandu. So these were systems that were there at that point in time. So with time, the Sokoto Caliphate became the biggest and the most organized pre-colonial Islamic states in Africa. But you see, with power came tension. Not everyone accepted the Fulani dominance. Some indigenous groups resisted. They resisted, while others were absorbed into that system. Okay? Now you have to understand that the Fulanese did not just conquer the north. They created an empire. That empire shaped the politics, the religion, and the power structure of the northern part of Nigeria till date. And that empire also shaped the politics, the culture, the history, and the power structure of every region where they found their presence. Like as you can see in Ilorin, that part of Nigeria, even if it happens to be in the west, they still have the emir of that place till date. That's what you need to understand. But you know something happened. The British came in 1903 and everything crumbled to an extent. So if you want me to make a video on how the British came and conquered and introduced their own system while leaving some elements of what the Fulanis created.
Ìwọ yìí láàárọ̀ yín. Ṣé gbọ́ fídíò yẹn ṣàlàyé yẹyẹ yín dáadáa. Mo mọ̀ pé ó yé wa. Látàyé Usman Dafodio títí tó fi dórí Amadu Bello. Amadu Bello ìyẹn àrọmọdọ́mọ Usman Dafodio olórí Fulani tó láwọn ti conquer Nigeria wípé property wọn ni kí gbogbo other Fulani all over the world tó bá ti lè fẹsẹ̀ tẹ Nigeria automatically ó ti become Nigeria citizen torí wọn ní territory wọn níran wọn máa ń wọ́n tì káàkiri àgbáyé bí Nigeria ṣe wá dìdìrìn tó tọ́nà pé ń jáyàtọ̀ fáfíríkà nígbà kan tó wá jẹ́ wípé Fúlàní wá rí yín mú ẹ̀yin ni wọ́n wá rí mú ní gbogbo àwọn Africa country tí wọ́n wá mú yín mọ́lẹ̀ tó báyìí is what I don't understand. Kò dẹ̀ tún ṣẹjọ́ wọn náà lọ títí tó bá farabalẹ̀ tó gbọ́ history Nigeria nítorí ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ṣe eradicate history kí àwọn ọmọ tá à ń bí sí àtàwa ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ká má mọ̀ kankan nípa Nigeria. Ìlú ọbabìnrin British kókó tó wàjà ó ti gbé àṣẹ political Nigeria ó ti gbélé àwọn Fulani lọ́wọ́ ní kan dìímú o kan guide ẹ̀ jealously kan má jẹ́ kan gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Hence you see the Fulani today, the Fulani Caliphate, the Northern Caliphate, because àwọn náà ni headed by the Amadu Bello ló dá sílẹ̀. Amadu Bello ló dá Northern Caliphate, Fulani Caliphate headed by him. Gbogbo bó ṣe jọ wálẹ̀ fún Tafawa Balewa tó jẹ́ pé òun ló ń pàṣẹ nínú palace ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé Tafawa Balewa kọ̀ọ̀run nǹkan tó bá sọ fún òun ló ń ṣe. The same thing yẹn náà ni Sultan of Sokoto Ahmad tó wà ń bẹ̀ the third nsìn tó wà ń bẹ̀ òun náà ló ń ṣe. Ní ayé ìgbà yẹn Amadu Bello ti rí rẹ̀ bí Minister of Prime Minister Nigeria tó jẹ́ wípé every other person tó bá fẹ́ jẹ́ wọ́n ní láti gba protocol látọ̀dọ̀ ló máa darí. Ìyẹn orí ẹsẹ̀ yẹn òun ni Sultan of Sokoto dúró lé lórí. Ṣùgbọ́n bí mo ṣe ń bẹ sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tó ń gbọ́ àlàyé mi ìlú ti yí orí ti change gbogbo oríṣiríṣi ayé fàmílétè tutọ́ máa fọwọ́ lálẹ̀ for everybody gbogbo ẹ ti bàjẹ́. Social media wà powerful, social media help wa gan ni o torí tí ò bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ títí láíláí àrọ́mọdọ́mọ wa inú ìgbèkùn inú òkùnkùn àwọn sultan òun la máa wà. Ní north lára nǹkan tí Tinubu ṣe tó ti ta gbogbo àwọn ethnic tó kù jí wípé ẹ dìde kẹ́ dára yín mọ̀ kẹ́ dára yín mú dá tiẹ̀ mọ̀ for how long lẹ fi máa jẹ́ wèrè lábẹ́ àwọn Fúlàní tá bá sọ̀rọ̀ population tí Fúlàní gan tí northern bí Caliphate tó fi máa ń halẹ̀ mọ́ gbogbo southern at every other person Nigeria àwọn gangan náà ni population yìí lọ́rọ̀ kan ṣá gbogbo tribe náà ti dìde tó ní kálukú tí mọ iye ara wọn tó dẹ̀ ti ń wà outspoken tó bá fẹ́ mọ̀ o kàn ní jókòó sórí àwọn àwa nìkan wà á ní láti máa ṣe research káàkiri ni kó rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ information kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ tó bá wá rí bí ọ̀rọ̀ ṣe ń lọ wà á rí wípé ní 2026 tá wà yìí agbára Sultan of Sokoto ó ti wálẹ̀ wọ̀ gbogbo àwọn ní born to rule àwọn náà ní Nàìjíríà wọn Nàìjíríà is not negotiable fún àǹfààní ara ẹni o torí wọ́n rí wípé Nàìjíríà is under his control any president tó bá jẹ́ Nàìjíríà tí ò bá fi tí wọ́n ṣe tí ò gba protocol wípé òun fẹ́ ṣèjọba òun ti ní template òun ti ní nǹkan tó ń fẹ́ wá ṣe ibà ṣe máa ń fìjọba tó fi ní lára tó ní jẹ́ kó fẹ̀dọ̀ lórí òróró tọ́kàn aráàlú ò ní balẹ̀ òun ni wọ́n ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ àwọn sultan ni ṣùgbọ́n inú tèmi dùn láti ìgbàdo olóró sẹ́ẹ̀ mo sì ń tẹnu mọ́ ìjẹ́ ẹ tún gbọ́ torí orin tí sultan máa kọ́kọ́ kọ ní gbogbo out tó bá ti lọ nìyẹn one Nigeria is not negotiable because ó believe pé ó wà London òun property òun ni òun lòun ṣe àwa Southern àwa ládẹ ń jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó ní positive name orúkọ ìwọ̀nba orúkọ tó wà positive tí Nàìjíríà ṣì ń jẹ́ bó tó man abroad lénìí àwa Southern là ń ṣe kì í ṣe àwọn tó bá fi dá Sultan of Sokoto the Northern Caliphate ọba yéjọ òbí tí so lẹ́rùn ni wọ́n they have nothing positive to offer Nigeria. I keep mentioning this. If you said I'm lying, please mention one or two, three things upon how many years they have been grabbing and they have been sleeping, dying and went with that political power that the British gave to them, that asked them to be guiding it jealously. What have been the positive thing that you and myself as a Nigerian citizen have benefited from these people? Nothing politically. They gave us Alimajiri. They gave us terrorism. They are unalive Nigerian citizens because of their own selfish gain and greediness. They have nothing to think, okay, let's sit on the round table. We are the one holding this political power. It is the time has come for us to move Nigeria forward. No, instead they are driving Nigeria backward. As a matter of fact, kí gbogbo Nigeria kó lè jọwọ́ pátápátá sí abẹ́ Sultan of Sokoto kó lè jẹ́ overall bàbá wa òun ló fẹ́ dàbí Ayọ́tálá ti Iran ó fẹ́ sọ Nigeria bí Iran ṣe rí. Àwa sọ fún ìwọ Southern ó jẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ kó wọ etí ẹ òun pẹ̀lú ọ̀bọ̀jáwúrà ẹ má dọmọnù pẹ̀lú omi ìwẹ̀ mo ṣe ń tún sọ ẹ má dọmọnù pẹ̀lú omi ìwẹ̀ tẹ bá ètò Tinubu economically gbogbo ìlú òrẹ́rìn abroad òrẹ́rìn oníkálukú wá fi mọ́ra ni tó tẹ̀lé mi kó tó wá gbọ́ fídíò yìí.
I saw this post on Punch that says that a bill seeking a return to a regional system of government for Nigeria will be transmitted to President Bola Tinubu next week, Saturday. Punch has exclusively gathered. Now, I don't know how this is true. I just saw this image online and I just feel like, let me just throw it for you. Now, you see this thing. If Tinubu is able to pull this shit out, man, Tinubu is the greatest. I swear to God, because this is actually, for me, if I'm the president, this is what I'm going to do as well. Let South be in charge of their resources and everything coming from South. We want to have a prime minister that will represent the South. We're going to have in the Southeast, Southwest, Central, North, or Northwest, I don't know how they're going to share it. Then each of this region is going to have a prime minister that sits on the table with one president that answers like United States of Nigeria. Do you understand? Every region has their own constitution and controls their own resources. I probably give a percentage to the federal government, like the national, like the president that's going to be like the united president of everyone. Do you understand? And then that president will really focus on key national infrastructures, like connecting all the regions with railways, airports, waterways, and, green energy, those big projects, you understand? Also supporting the regions. I think this is the only way that's going to bring a certain level of peace, accountability, and equality to Nigeria as a people. If not, we are going to remain like this. We will always think that the North is cheating the South, the West is cheating the East is cheating the South is cheating. That's because that's the mentality we have right now. We feel like, okay, now we get this thing, now this will be the shop pass, now we get this will be the shop pass. So if Bat is able to pull this out, man, I'm going to love this. And this is also going to give a step to the agitation of the Southeast that are looking for Biafra. I don't know how they're going to call their region or whatever they're looking for, that are looking for Biafra. And I think this was part of the clauses that Peter Obi has that it will make him never to be president, because they believe that if he becomes president, he's going to do this regional thing, and which means it's going to give an edge for Southeast to move closer to the agitation of having Biafra. And it's one of his clauses that will make him never to be president, is this particular thing. And I also heard a rumor that Mr. President was actually stopped by the international community, the real owners of Nigeria, not to go through this route to actually form this, because we being regionalized will actually reduce or possibly stop the international community from benefiting from the natural resources of Nigeria. That kind of story, I don't really know how concrete it is, but that kind of story actually spread, that if regional governments will make the international community, which like the UK, Britain, people that colonize us, United States, France, not to really have full access to the things they keep stealing from us, natural resources. But seeing this makes me feel somehow good, you know. And I feel like Mr. President takes bold steps when he's doing stuffs, you know. And if he does this, man, this is really great. And I think this is also, if he does this, that means there's a little alignment between him, Donald Trump, and Goodluck Jonathan. And this might be one of the major reasons why Goodluck Jonathan might change his mind from contesting that election. I don't know. I'm just, you know, thinking out loud. But aside from this, in fact, if you don't see Goodluck Jonathan on that ballot, that means President Tinubu has had a fair deal with Donald Trump. It might not come publicly, but this is what I'm just seeing, how this whole thing is going. You get me? He has had a fair deal with Donald Trump. And it's okay. It's okay. These are big boy steps. I just hope it works out. I really hope it works out. So let's just have our own prime minister, our own government, our own parliament, and doing our thing. Then the prime minister reports to the president of the United States, you know, like the United States of Nigeria. So make everybody just doing this. So you cannot just move and come and start claiming things or doing things. So we know that, okay, this region is Christian, we don't want to see this, or this region is Muslim. So you should be able to know that there are boundaries to whatever you want to do or how you want to do whatever you want to do. You understand? So this is going to be a really great deal. It's going to be a really great deal. I think I like it. Let's just see how it goes. Say next week, let's just see how it goes.
Ayọ̀ àbàrà títí bàbá Tinubu nǹkan tá à ń dúró dè látọ̀dọ̀ yín nìyẹn. A dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé àwọn northern àwọn ready fún. The reason why they are against regionalism or federalism or restructuring is what every one of us don't understand. Tó bá sọ̀rọ̀ solid mineral resources wọ́n ní bọ̀kúbọ̀kú ní northern part of Nigeria. Kí ló dé tí northern part of Nigeria wá against regional? Kí ló dé tó against regional? Wọ́n máa against Sultan ò ní like northern Caliphate máa bẹ́ gidi náà pé wọ́n ní gbọ́ wọ́n ní gbà. Bàbá Tinubu nǹkan táwọn tó dẹ̀ máa yọ àwa Southerner. If that is the only thing tó lè ṣe fún wa láyé, history ò ní gbàgbé yan bàbá Tinubu. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ súnmọ́ bàbá Tinubu ẹ bá wa sọ fún wọn kó má jọ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu lásán kí bàbá mú ṣe ni o. Bó bá jẹ́ òun lẹ máa ṣe fún wa, history ò ní gbàgbé yan bàbá. Torí nípa regional yẹn báyìí kò ní sí wípé gbogbo agbára ó wà lọ́wọ́ Sultan. You see that political power tí mo ṣe analysis ẹ̀ lọ níbẹ̀rẹ̀ fídíò yìí. Gbogbo power yẹn tí wọ́n gbé máyà gbogbo ẹ̀ á bọ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn. That is the reason why kì í ṣe nítorí mineral resources. If it is because of solid minerals, they have enough, more than enough in the northern part. Kò sí any solid minerals tó jẹ́ the most expensive one all over the world. Tí kò sí ńbẹ̀, wọ́n ti discover náà ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa. Wọ́n ti discover náà ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa. Ṣé o ti rí àlàyé yẹn bó ṣe ń lọ? Ṣé àlàyé yẹn ṣé ó yé ẹ? Tí regional bá dé, kò ní sí gbogbo agbára yẹn wọ́n strip ẹ̀ off from Sultan. Kò ní sí àrọ́mọdọ́mọ kankan wípé àwọn náà máa padà wá jẹ prime minister, because nǹkan gan tí wọ́n sá eré lé lórí tí wọ́n fẹ́ kí Sultan, kí àrọ́mọdọ́mọ Sultan of Sokoto, àrọ́mọdọ́mọ Usman Dan Fodio kó jẹ́ pò ló máa jẹ prime minister. Tí Ahmadu Bello ti ń bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ìgbà tí Ahmadu Bello tó gbé sílẹ̀, àrọ́mọdọ́mọ òun náà ni Sultan the third tó wà ńbẹ̀ yìí o. Iṣẹ́ tí Ahmadu Bello ṣe sílẹ̀ tó ṣe kù, tí Usman Dan Fodio tó ṣe kù, Ahmadu Bello continue títí tó fi dórí Sultan. So ìwọ̀nba ni kò gbèjà Sultan mọ́. Sultan has nothing good to offer we Southerner. Ó believe pé Nigeria belongs to him. Ó ti inherit lọ́dọ̀ great grandparent father Usman Dan Fodio. Tó bá wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀, jọ̀ọ́ ṣé ìwọ àtèmi jẹ́ property Sultan ni? Láti bọ́ síbo, ìbá tí jẹ́ wípé bí political power yẹn bọ́ ṣe gbé dání ni. Wọ́n fi benefit ńbẹ̀, wọ́n fi make Nigeria okay. Everything lọ bó ṣe yẹ kó ṣe lọ, kó ṣe pé wọ́n fi yàn ọ̀nà life wa pé kó máa pa wá. kọ́ máa ríra kọ́ máa mú Nàìjíríà kọ́ sọ́ di oko aṣálẹ̀ kí wọ́n àárín ara wọn di only the Sultan Caliphate wọ́n mú mùdùmùdù gbogbo èmi ní subsidy gbogbo owó tó kó jẹ ní NNPC àbórúkọ wo náà tó pè é sìn gbogbo Northern Niger State tí wọ́n kówó jẹ gbogbo àwọn AD Buhari tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo wọn kó trillion billions gbogbo ẹ̀ káàkiri under Sultan of Sokoto ni gbogbo wọn tẹríba sí gbogbo èmi ní Sharia and every other thing. Sultan of Sokoto has nothing good to offer Nigeria, not even the northern part tó wà. Only him. Palace ẹnìkan is a local government tí wọ́n register nínú Nigeria. Palace ẹnìkan. Ẹjọ́ ọba mélòó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni wọ́n register Palace ẹnìkan as local government. Ká ẹ lè mọ̀ wípé Baba Tinubu is the best candidate and the best one, and this is the right time láti yọ wá kúrò pátápátá lábẹ́ ogun tí àwọn people ìgbé wá sí. Tẹ́ ẹ bá ti gbé regional lẹ̀, we will follow it up. Ẹ fi òfin gba nídìí tí ò ní sí àyè fún any other president tó bá máa jẹ, because after you, of course, northern and local, tí any other president tó bá jẹ again, tí ò ní lè sọ wípé òun tún kíní yẹn yí, because ẹ bá ti ṣe ẹ ti tú wa sílẹ̀ kúrò ní ìgbèkùn slavery sultan tí àwa Nigerians ò bá mọ̀ ti southern, we are still in slavery o. British kò lóòótọ́ ni wọ́n sọ wípé wọ́n fún wa ní òmìnira, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ju okùn àgbò yẹn sílẹ̀ o, wọ́n fà á lé àwọn sultan lọ́wọ́. So indirectly, a sì jẹ́ ẹrú àwa Southerner, ẹrú sì ni wá pẹ̀lú Northerner lábẹ́ wọn. And that is why wo bí Sultan ní abẹ́ Sultan tó fẹ́ jẹ́ Prime Minister Nigeria, wo bí northern part of Nigeria, wo báyé wọ́n ṣe bàjẹ́. Àwọn ni orísun poverty ní the whole of Africa, if not the whole world. Kí wá láǹfààní agbára tán gbé dání? Kí náà sì ní northern part of Nigeria? They are so popular. Northern part of Nigeria are too popular. They are the most popular area in the whole of Africa now. Yes, they are really popular when it comes to terrorism and alimajiri and poverty. Nothing good comes from them. Okay, tó bá ní rán ni mo pa, bá mi dárúkọ àwọn orúkọ méjì tó rántí ní northern part of Nigeria. Either in political aspect of it, or educational side of it, or entertainment world, or sport, or anything. Tí o ti rí tí northerner ní abroad tó ṣe something positive tí wọ́n wá ń polongo ẹ̀ labroad wípé Nigeria so pọ́sí o, ó ṣàṣeyọrí ibi báyìí o. Tẹ́ bá máa rí ìsáídà kó jẹ́ Yorùbá, tó bá kó 10 sílẹ̀ 8 á jẹ́ Yorùbá, 2 tó kù làwọn region tó kù tó máa dìmú. Tó já sí wípé we southwestern people, we the Yorubas, the Kóòtù Àjíire people, àwa là ń promote Nigeria jù, àwa là obey law jù, àwa là ń ṣe everything positively tá sì make in Nigeria tó sì ní orúkọ rere dènè lẹ́ni. When it comes to tó bá wo ti northern part of Nigeria, orúkọ burúkú ni wọ́n sọ, wọ́n fẹ́ bayé Nigeria jẹ́. Ó la ṣe sọ fún ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí wípé ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lẹ́ẹ̀kì máa ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn. Sátánì ò máa gbẹ̀sìn mọ́ gbogbo ilé tẹ́yìn gbà yẹn yín màlẹ́ máa gbẹ̀sìn mọ́ wèrè. Gbogbo ilé tẹ́yìn wò yìí, ó mà ti kọjá ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn, wọ́n kàn mọ̀ wípé ọ̀nà wo náà fi lè ráyè penetrate láti kọ́ńkà wa dáadáa àwa Yorùbá, because ọmọ ìpọpọlọ ti pọ̀ jù, òun náà ṣe gbé sábẹ́ ẹ̀sìn. Ṣé ó dẹ̀ yanilẹ́nu wípé ẹ̀yin aláìyé ẹ̀dá, nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ lọ máa sọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ níbi country tẹ́ ẹ gbé. Ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ history orí burúkú gbogbo àwọn Islamic country tí ò ní peace of mind. Kò sí Islamic country ẹyọ kan báyìí tó ní peace. Ìjà náà bára wọn jà, ogun náà bára wọn jà lójoojúmọ́. And you want Yorùbá land to be like that? Ṣebí nítorí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá sì ní peace, òun ni wọ́n sì ṣe lẹ́nu sọ̀rọ̀. Bóyá ká láti fàyè sílẹ̀ ní ká má máa pariwo kí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kó ti dàbí north. Bóyá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀yin fanatic gan ẹ ti bálẹ̀ lọ, ẹ ti parẹ́ máyé lára torí ẹ̀ lùlù yín tó ń pe òjò. Ẹ ò mọ̀ ipò orí ara yín lẹ́ ń pè sí. Ẹ̀yin nìyà yẹn máa jẹ jù kó tó kan irú àwa. Ibẹ̀ ni kọ́kọ́ náà látún yìí lọ, ọ̀rọ̀ padà ti bẹ́yìn yọ.
Wọ́n fẹ́ ká máa ṣẹ̀sìn kí wọ́n mọ̀ pa wá. Wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé tí ọgọ́ bá ti ń kìlọ̀ tá bá ti lọ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì, táàsì gẹ́gẹ́ táàsì òògùn mọ́. Wọ́n bá wá lè wọlé sí wa lára. Wọ́n wá fẹ̀sì lù wá jìbìtì ní. Báyìí olè àbá olè. Ibi tí ń gbógun ẹ̀. Ẹja padà di ẹ̀bọ wa. Olè ní gbógun ẹ̀. Ẹ padà sí di ẹ̀bọ. Ẹ̀bọ ló lè gbà wá. Fúlàní pa wá. Fúlàní pa wá. Àwọn Fúlàní pa wá. Fúlàní pa wá.
Tani Olorun, brother mi, ńlẹ́ o. Tó báyìí ni, àpadà débẹ̀. àmàdábọ̀ kìíní títí òun ọmọ àgbà sí wa lẹ́nu o. Ẹ̀rọ ọjọ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mà ti wá ń bà mí báyìí. Ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Ìkòòtù ẹ má mà jẹ́ kí nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ kó bàjẹ́. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn kí lẹ rí sí fídíò yìí? Àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe ṣáàrí wọn bá wí, àárí wọn bá wí, ẹjẹ́ sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ fún wa. Ǹjẹ́ mo yọ ọdún tí àwọn mùsùlùmí ti jókòó sí gògóńgò ẹ̀mí àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe tí wọ́n ti fẹ́ já okùn ẹ̀mí wọn? Ẹlẹ́bọ, olóòórùn, onígbá, aláwo kì í ṣe pọ́tù stop náà títí dìsíyìí wọ́n yìí ṣe o. Ṣẹ̀tẹ̀ráyé àwa Christian náà àfẹ́ bá èṣù àti mámọ́nì ẹ̀ ṣe. Ogun o kò lè yàn Ọ̀ṣun o kò lè yàn miha bàbá mo yọ̀ o mo tẹríba yẹ o bàbá mo yọ̀ o mo tẹríba. Orin àwa Kìrìsìtẹ́nì nìyẹn. Ògún ò lẹ́nu, Ògún ò lè yìn Ọlọ́run o, Ọ̀ṣun ò lè yìn, òrìṣà ò lè yìn, orin tá a fi kọ ọ́ nìyẹn. Ṣùgbọ́n nísìn ó ti já jó gbogbo wa lójú. Àṣé Ògún náà ní sáìdì tiẹ̀ tó máa contribute lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí. Mi hàn. Àṣé Ọ̀ṣun gan ní sáìdì contribution títí ẹ̀. Ẹ ti wá rí ibi tá a bára wa báyìí. Nígbà tí Tani Olorun ti kó àwọn èèyàn ti ẹ̀bọ̀dí báyìí sìn, tí ìṣẹ̀ṣe ti wà registered ní Nàìjíríà náà all over the world tó jẹ́ pé òun ló ń rèé nísìn. Ẹ má jẹ́ àtanra wa. Ẹjọ́ tí àwọn mùsùlùmí náà bá kóra wọn jọ lọ́la báyìí tán ṣe táwọn náà wọ́de tán ní ẹ má bẹ́lẹ́bọ ṣe irọ́ náà pa. Àbí Christian àwọn náà kó wọ́de tí wọ́n síta wípé Ògún ò lè gbà ọ́, Ọ̀ṣun ò lè gbà ọ́, Ọ̀rúnmìlà ò lè wò ẹ́ sàn, Jésù ni ó dì mú. Mo ní ẹ má jà ájàjà ẹ̀sìn, ẹwà ayé, ẹwẹ́nu ilẹ̀, ẹwẹ́nu ọkọ́. Ẹ̀rù ọjọ́ ọ̀la ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ti ń bà mí báyìí. Ṣé ìgbẹ̀yìn nǹkan tá à ń fi ṣeré ta fi ń ṣeré? Ṣé kò ní dín nǹkan tí ọmọ bàbá àtọmọ ìyá máa kọjú ìjà síra wọn? Ṣọmọ ìyá méjì ò ní máa gbógun tira wọn? Ṣé ìkan ò ní mú tírà kó máa fi na ọmọ ìyá ẹ̀ kejì? Àbọ̀mọ bàbá, ṣé ọmọ bàbá ò ní mú gbàdì àbó lóńdè kó fi na ọmọ ìyá ẹ̀ báyìí? Ṣé Kìrìsìtẹ́nì ò ní kásáàmù gbígbóná lé orí ọmọ ìyá àti bàbá ẹ̀ báyìí torí ẹ̀sìn? Ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà ẹ̀dẹ̀ lajú kalẹ̀, ẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣe kankan. Mi ìdẹ̀ rí ẹ̀yin oníṣẹ̀ṣe bá wí o. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ sòótọ́ àárín yín bá wí. Àbí nígbà tí Olúwo apariwo Gúmi Mufti Ìwó àti Gúmi Olúwo a sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ má domi àlàáfíà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá rú. Ìkan lára àwọn ọba ló pera ẹ di sẹ́morí àpèrè tó ń ta àbùkù bá gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó ń yẹ̀yẹ́ wọn wọ̀nyí, àwọn òrìṣà wọ̀nyí. Ó wà lára nǹkan tí wọ́n fi dá orí àpèrè tó jókòó lé lórí. Onírọ́ olẹ́sìn ibi tí ò mọ nǹkan kan tó fi pinlẹ̀ Olóhùn ló gbé sórí tó ní láti kọ̀ndẹ́mù títí ẹ kìkìdá ìran ọmọ àlè, ojúlówó ọmọ àlè, olówúrú ìwà bẹ́ẹ̀ tó Olúwo ń wú. Ẹ wo ara nǹkan tó Olúwo dálẹ̀ báyìí. Abẹ́yìn ọmọ ipa rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ Olúwo, Gúmi Olúwo àti Gúmi Mufti àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin alákatakítí oníṣàrí ọ̀ràn. Ṣé ti rí nǹkan tẹ́ ń dálẹ̀? Ṣé dẹ̀rọ ipa gbára yín máa káàkiri ìṣá? Ṣé ẹ̀rọ ipa gbára yín máa káàkiri ìṣá? A máa ń sọ kíní má ti fẹ́ dẹ̀ àlàbọ̀rùn má ti fẹ́ dẹ̀wù sí wa lọ́rùn báyìí díẹ̀díẹ̀ ó máa ń bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ bá wa wá àkọ́ṣe sí kinní yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ń kẹ́ pé gbogbo àwọn olórí ẹlẹ́sìn pátápátá, ẹ̀yin gọ́fìnà ẹ pé gbogbo olórí ẹlẹ́sìn kí ẹ̀sìn kankan kẹ́nìbọ̀dì wọn kan má kàn dé mọ́ ẹ̀sìn kan fẹ́sìn kan káàjọ bára wa ṣe bá ṣe ń ṣe láti ilẹ̀. Òun lèmi dúró lé lórí o. Orúkọ tèmi ò yípadà, Yèyé Dárákọ owó èkókókó ni mò ń jẹ́. Má gbàgbé láti bá mi pé ètò yìí síta, má sì gbàgbé láti bá mi drop comment ẹ, bá mi like ẹ, bá mi thumb up. Ṣé o bá mi subscribe? O ò tí subscribe, what are you still waiting for? Ó yá bá mi sọ fún colleagues ẹ ń bí iṣẹ́. Yes! Bá mi sọ fún àwọn ọmọ mi daddy, ẹ bá mi sọ fún mommy, ẹ bá mi sọ fún daddy. Ó yá ẹ bá mi subscribe, ẹ bá mi comment, ẹ bá mi love, bá mi share. God bless you as you do so. Thank you for supporting my brand. Ní dálé ayé ṣe o. Ire o, kábíyèsí.